right, classmates. It is me, Ken, your dean, and you are now tuned in to Hard Knock University. Guess who fell on the campus today? ATL's finest, Baby Jade. How you doing? Welcome to Hard Knock University.
I am fantastic, and I am completely and totally honored to be here. This is really a great thing that you have going on, and I'm just really blessed to be a part of it.
It's that right there, that humbleness. See, love you, man. It's crazy. When I started this podcast and got this deal, I didn't want to do it. Right?
Really? Why?
I didn't want to do it. I didn't want to do the camera. I didn't want to talk. I just didn't want to.
Me neither.
This is media, and when it comes to media, you have to be really careful about what you say. I don't like being in people's business, but I just love to be a part of the news. I love being a part of the culture.
Me too.
Hard Knock University is a podcast about untraditional degrees, street degrees, as well as traditional education.
Facts.
I didn't want to do it. I created the show for someone else, and Clay Evans, who is, everyone knows Clay.
My brother, yes.
I called Clay. I met Clay about 11 years ago, 10 or 11 years ago. I owned a club in Dallas.
Right.
And I booked the artist. And I'm not going to say this artist's name, but it was a huge artist, and he had this huge tour bus, and the tour bus was like full of niggas. I'm going to be honest with you. It was so many dudes on this bus, and the entourage was so thick. It was crazy, but when the bus pulled up, the artist came down. I greeted him. His security came in to do the walkthrough.
Right.
Soon as it was time for the artist to walk in, I had to remind him that we have a capacity at our spot, and a lot of your entourage, we're talking about 100 people. And
damn.
It couldn't.
Are we allowed to curse on here?
Yes, you can.
Okay. Okay.
And it was about 100 people, and I wouldn't have any room for customers.
You wouldn't be able to accommodate them
at all, and they're going to shut us down in Dallas. So I had to advise him and
Dallas
his team.
is strict.
This bald head guy has on his fanny pack, and he got his trimmed up mustache looking like Michael Jordan and Tupac at the same time. He gets out. He says, "Hey man, hey, what's going on?" I say, "Well, I was trying to tell a couple of your guys that, we may not be able to fit everyone in." He's like, "Hey man, that ain't no problem. They'll understand."
Yeah.
So I'm thinking we had the situation handled, and when the artist went to walk in, 20 of the guys rushed the door and was like, "Nah, wherever he go, we go." And I'm like, I understand that, but he has 20 more with him that's saying the same thing. I mean, how much protection does he need? Like, I get it. And he was like, "Well, wherever he goes, we go." And I'm professional until, I'm from Atlanta and Texas. So now I'm like,
the best of both worlds.
It went from sir to, my nigga, listen, let me tell you something, bro. I'm telling you right now, you're not coming in, and it became an issue.
This is my money.
This is my money, and I understand you guys want to protect this guy. I get it. I want to protect my money also.
Right.
But this is my spot. And next thing you know, it was guns drawn out. My security got guns. They have guns. It's guns everywhere. It's guns everywhere. Groupies are running. No. I mean, you see wigs flying off, flip-flops, because they think it's about to be an all-shootout war.
Yeah.
I'm hearing my security on the radio saying, "What do we do? What do we do?" And I'm like, I don't know. I don't want to be on the TMZ is here. They're always here. So I'm like, I don't want this to be an issue.
Exactly.
And I'll be damned. Next thing I know, here comes Clay.
Yes.
I mean, in the middle of the battle. "Hey, man, what is going on? You get back on the bus." And he told this huge artist, "And you get your ass back on the bus." And I would never thought somebody would talk to this artist like that. That artist looked at him, put his head down, and went right on that bus.
That's what you call respect.
When that bus, everyone followed. He walked in my office. I went to say, "Man, thank you so much." He said, "Don't thank me, nigga. Have you lost your mind? You have one job.
Yes.
Your job is to protect this whole entity, the artist and your customers.
Right.
You out here arguing with these people like y'all in the streets. This is a business." Man, the man cussed me out for like 20 minutes.
That's Clay.
And after he got through cussing me out, then he said, "All right, now let me go fix this."
Right.
And he fixed it. A lot of the artists, he came in, the rest went back to the hotel. We had a great night.
Yes.
Pictures galore. After that day, I took him out to dinner, And I told him how I grew up here, and he was like, "Oh, you a native, man. Whether you like it or not, you one of us." And
Yeah.
he reminded me that I needed to do more as far. He said, "Man, you're tall. You know, you have a great personality. You need to do more, man. You know, come. I got a management company, man, and I need you to help me with some of these. I don't want to do these rappers. These rappers getting on my nerves now. Tip is a handful. Tip is a handful, man. I'm telling you, man. Him and them kids, man, they drive me crazy. I ain't doing no more rappers, but I'm hanging out with comedians now. Me and Duval, we about to get the thing going."
Yes.
And I was like, in Rubicon management, I was always supporting it. I have a nonprofit, so I would book his artists to come do the comedy or anything that I can do. But I can always call him for advice. You know, it was.
You can call Clay anytime, day or night. This nigga's gonna pick up and tell you what you need to hear and what you need to know. Like, Clay was the best.
He was.
Clay was the best.
Yeah,
literally.
basketball players, they have their mentors. If you want to be a lawyer, you can go find your mentor. If you want to be a race car driver, whatever it is, you can find a mentor.
Excuse me.
Bless you.
Thank you.
But for what I did for a living, there was no teacher. It was no professor. You don't get awards for it. At his funeral, they said something that I remember saying to myself one day. That's why I knew that he was the person I always knew he was. I never wanted to be in the spotlight. I thought it was an honor to open the curtains for somebody that I helped get to that spot. I don't want anything but to see that person succeed. And he was just that type of guy. But he told me two things. But
oh, God, you about to make me cry, man. Oh, my God.
But I said all that to say this. When I took the deal, it was because he made me. He said, "Man, go in there and do that dang on podcast. Man, goddamn, man, quit being a pussy." And we was at the strip club, and I don't get lap dances, and he was laughing at me because he was like, "Man, why are you even here?" You know, and we was just going in there, and he was like, "Man, do the podcast, but when you get back to Atlanta, I want you to do two things for me." And I was like, "It's whatever, OG. What do you need?" He said, "I need you to help me make sure Erica is good as far as her bookings. Make sure you show up, show some support, anything that you can do on the comedy nights on the Tuesdays, and I need you to talk to Jade, and you need to make nice with Jade. I don't care what you do, but you need to make nice with Jade and let her know who you are." And I was like, "Who is Jade?" And he looked at me, and the way he looked at me when I said, "Who is Jade?" let me know that I had so much work to do, because you are a jewel here in Atlanta. And that's what he wanted me to see. He wanted me to be around someone that, when I look on your Instagram of 197,000 followers, and I'm around celebrities, right? I know the hugs. I know the hugs. These people hug you like y'all came out the womb together. You understand? They're so genuine. Eyes closed, the smiles ear to ear. It's not a groupie hug. It's not a, let me just take a picture. These hugs are, you don't see artists hug people like this. And I'm like, who is this person that's getting these hugs like this? And I told Erica, I was like, "Can you help me get Jade? Because Clay was supposed to do it, but now he's gone, and I don't want to seem like a creep. I'm not trying to get my mixtape dropped, and I know she's swarmed with people that want to meet her, and I really wanted you on Hard Knock University because this is what it's about, right? Who are you that you get so much love in this industry that you are almost like a female Clay?" And I'm trying to figure out who you are.
That's like a female Clay is like, that's almost like kind of like calling me a unicorn almost, because Clay was so much to so many people.
Oh yeah.
And to even be in the same sentence as Clay, that's wow, that's really,
you have people's best interests at heart, and that's a talent that it's a gift. Honestly, it's a gift. Like for instance, these artists that you're around, you know, and I know both, that it is very hard to distinguish. Sometimes you get a little blind of who's there for you and who's not. People always say, "Oh, I know who's real," but when you get to that point, it's different. Things happen so fast. People come around you so fast. You don't know who really has your best interest at heart. But for some strange reason, they know you do without reasonable doubt. Just like Clay.
Yeah, man. I'm sorry about this. I'm a Cancer, and I'm like super like emotional. So I'm sorry, but yeah, that's really. I really appreciate that, because that's like, to be, like I said, even mentioned in the same sentence, much less like compared to a female version of him. That's a tremendous honor, and that really just kind of hit me a little bit, and that really means a lot.
Those are tears of joy. You got a lot of joy. You're doing big things. Like, again, when I say who is Jade, I mean Big Fact Podcast. Like, you're everywhere. Tell me about your podcast. I mean, because I'm watching y'all and I'm trying to learn too. So
the crazy thing about it is that when we first started, I was just like you. Like, I didn't want to be in the camera. You know, I'm used to being behind the scenes, like putting the shit together and, you know, pushing it to the camera and, you know, like making it go or whatever. So my position, like outside of, you know, like me and Black being best friends for over 20 years, was to like get the artists, you know, get them there, get them situated, whatever. So I guess like a talent person or whatever.
Okay.
But, you know, we didn't really have like all of the perfect structure when we began. We were just kind of winging the shit, trying to see like, you know, how it went.
Figure it out.
So it would be like, when the artists would come, Screaming Black would be interviewing them, but I had like my own personal relationship with all of these people. So every time they would like kind of talk off camera to me and like ask me how I felt, or, you know what I'm saying, what I thought about shit or whatever. But when you look at it, when the episode is completed and edited and finished, it looks like they're talking off to the side to like a ghost or something. So one day, Black was just like, bitch, you ain't finna keep laughing and talking and shit on the side of my shit off the camera and making the shit look funny, like we got ghosts and all kind of crazy shit, whatever.
Making them look
bitch,
crazy
pull
as
up a chair, like pull up a chair and get a microphone, bitch, and sit down, like, and talk. And I was like, he was like, shut up, bitch, and just get the chair. And I'm like, okay. So I shut up and I sat down and I got the mic, and it's been really wonderful ever since, because it's like, I don't know how it is for you, but for me and Black and, you know, everybody that's on our side, the whole podcast thing is extremely therapeutic.
Yes.
So even outside of like when we do our guests and our interviews and we have to, you know, ask them like all the stuff about them or whatever, we also get to have some dialogue amongst each other about, you know, current events or personal things that we have going on or whatever, and it's like a release for us. So just to kind of think that we're able to work with our friends, we're able to have this therapeutic release, and we're also able to get paid very well to do that all at the same time is just like really a blessing from God, honestly.
You hit the nail on the head. Hard Knock is still a mental health podcast, so it's about thriving, you know. And for you to, I know it wasn't easy for me. Like I say, even sitting in front of the cameras and the microphone is still a struggle. But you know, Hard Knock University is what we do. You know, I'm a freshman in this, so we're gonna rock it out. But I do know
I can't tell you're a freshman.
you guys are doing great. So I started tuning in to podcasts because of you. And like I told Clay, again, you have to have a passion for some of these things.
Right.
If you're getting into this to make any money or to think you're gonna get famous, it's just not gonna work.
It's not gonna work.
Is an outlet. Hard Knock University, this campus is an outlet. That means for all artists.
Right.
And your podcast is basically the same, and you guys do such a great job.
Thank you.
Giving the smaller artists, you guys don't have to go big all the time, which I love. You guys have the smaller artists, and they're just
and we do that on purpose. Because it's been a lot of niggas that like, I'm not gonna name any of them, but a lot of niggas that were like larger artists that we like respectfully declined because we just felt like they didn't really fit our mold of what they were trying to do. And then we felt kind of like we want people that want to be there, not people that are trying to do like a press run or, you know, that are just trying to get some exposure or clout or whatever. We want people that really want to sit down and talk to us about some real shit that's going on in the world today and in the streets. And, you know, like that's our core. So if someone doesn't really kind of like fit within that, it's no like hard feelings or no like discrimination or no shit like that, but it's just for us it won't work.
This is a business.
Facts.
This is a business. And normally I have a bunch of bottles and stuff right here and I'll be drinking with you. But I've been advised by my studio personnel that we may be getting too drunk in here, so we had to cut down, and we had to come up out of the dorm room and go straight to the professor's house.
Straight to class.
Straight to class. But let me ask you a question. You are a staple here in Atlanta, Georgia. I'm so glad I put the studio here.
Oh
you're
God.
a staple. But let's not even say 10 years ago. Let's just say 5 years ago. Do you see the change that's going on in Atlanta, and how do you feel about it? And when I say change, it's a lot of artists that are not living here anymore.
Right.
The real estate has shot up. Rental rates have shot up. A lot of the nightclubs and hookah clubs that we liked are gone. A lot of the groups of people that we know to have fun with are gone or in jail. It's just so much changing in Atlanta. But how do you feel about that being a staple here?
So I know one thing that I've definitely noticed like over the last 5 years is that there's been like a huge increase in the amount of violence. Before, like back in the day, like, you know, things happen and, you know, like niggas would die and get killed and all that kind of shit, but not at such an alarming rate as it is now. And another thing that I've never seen is so much like senseless violence, like of like women and children and old people, like, you know, it's like in the streets, like those, like it was like an unspoken thing that like all those groups that I just named were completely and totally off limits. Like you don't rob an old woman, or you don't, even if you see a nigga that fucking you want to kill or that you're into it with or whatever, if he has his kid in the car, you leave him alone until you catch him again. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, you know, like, but it's like now, and Black always says that it's like something in the meat with these kids, or like the fast food or some shit, you know what I'm saying? Like, but it's like, now it's like, these kids have no regard, and what's even worse is that even with that lack of regard, they don't have any remorse. Yeah. And it's kind of scary because, like, we've all grown up and we all know, you know, like how shit goes in the streets, whatever. But now it's kind of like, you have no idea. It's like, you knew before, like, okay, as long as you weren't actively into it with anybody, or you know, stayed out of the wrong places at the wrong time or whatever, like you were good, like you were cool. But it's like now anything can happen anywhere. And that's terrifying.
At Target, at the store.
Yeah, and you could even be somewhere where nothing has ever happened before, and something could happen and you could get caught in a crossfire and fucking be out of here just like that. Like, it's crazy.
And it's
crazy.
Mostly kids in Atlanta. I've never seen so many kids here armed in my life. And I grew up here as a kid, and don't get me wrong, I wasn't a saint. We did a lot of stuff, but it wasn't to the point to where every kid
so much
had a
gunplay.
gun. And to back to the remorse, just take the kid that killed Pop Smoke. Like, he's going live on IG. He's
like it's
pizza.
almost a trophy.
Yeah, but the rest of your life you're in prison and you're glorifying it still. And that's sad to me. You know, it's really sad that he feels that he needs to show people that I'm still living good after pulling the trigger and taking someone's life. It's so common now for somebody to just take someone's life. Like, you have the right now. You can just take someone's life.
It's almost like, before it would kind of be like you would see like a murder on the news or something, and it'll be like, oh my God, like what happened, or like what's going on. But it's like you see so much of that shit now, so it's like, okay, damn, and then on to the next thing. Like, it's crazy.
These little motherfuckers ain't about to rob me. I don't wear no jersey. You see my little chain now? I bust down gone, not a diamond in here. I put on my bracelets. See, these the Louis ones, but I got them from the little site, so you get them a little discounted.
Yeah.
So I wasn't about to play. I'm not about to play with these kids out here looking like a snack because I'm already tall and they think I'm in the NBA.
Right.
And and again, they know they have nothing to lose. And again, they think it's cool. They're gonna be in jail, barbecuing on the stairs and on the phone calling back. They think that's the life, but I've been there. You know what I'm saying? I've been to prison, and it's not. You talking about that 5-minute photo in 24 hours of the day. That's a 5-minute photo they took.
Out of 24 hours.
I guarantee you the whole cell was shook down by the time that video went up.
Right.
They was locked down for a week. You probably only got to eat noodles just because it's so much that goes on after that picture is done. And I hate that they're making these kids thinking that jail is just it's cool to go to. But back to Atlanta and the state that I feel like it's in. The culture here is so deep here in Atlanta.
Facts.
I don't think anybody could take away the culture of Atlanta,
no,
from the
not
people
at all.
to the food. The music, though.
Yes.
What's going on with the music here? How do you feel the state as far as the rap and hip-hop industry? I mean, Atlanta has always been a powerhouse, and when it came to, we knocked New York down, LA down.
Yes,
we was rocking.
We took it
Jermaine,
over.
we took it over.
Yes.
They're trying to come back and gain a little momentum, and I love it. I love the the competition. I love that New York is coming out with new artists. I love LA is starting to.
But you know who's really like starting to take over the music scene like more so than anywhere else? Detroit.
So why do I love their Tubi movies, man? Detroit.
And you know what? I had, up until probably about a week and a half ago, I had no idea what Tubi was until a friend of mine told me about it. And they told me that, like, the funniest shit is on Tubi. And I'm actually in a movie that's on Tubi, and I had no idea that it was on Tubi or, like, what Tubi was about. But this weekend, I'm going to catch up on Tubi, and I plan to laugh my ass off.
You know how much I love Tubi?
How much do you love Tubi?
You on Tubi?
Mm-hmm.
You Tubi famous. Let me get your autograph. Sign that right there. I'm putting that on my Tubi board. You don't understand. I do Tubi Tuesdays, okay?
What?
Anybody that I meet is on Tubi is going to sign something for me. Listen, I'm 43 years old. I grew up in an era where we used to buy the VCR tapes from the hood movies. I got to hook up all that good bootleg movies. Don't Be a Menace. All those goofy movies, they didn't have to be high quality. They were just some
They said it might
movies.
be a movie on there like you might shoot a nigga and say pow, and then
bang,
the
bang.
nigga will like fall out with nothing. Like,
and then you'll see blood, and then the next scene the blood gone, even though he's still on the ground. And I get it though. I get it. He did. I get it. Hey, we can move past that. I understand you shot him and the blood disappeared, but I need to see what's gonna happen to you after this. So, but it's the plots, and I'm glad that Detroit is. I mean, they're dominating. If you look at the black cinema lineup, like all their movies are Detroit, Gone with the Gang,
right,
Hanging in the Hood, Alpha and them,
right,
like it, I'm telling you, it go deep. The culture of Atlanta. I went to a baseball game last night. It was actually, my childhood team is the Braves. I've always loved the Braves since I was a kid.
Yeah, me too.
And this was my first Braves game. And
at
the Truist Park.
Truist Park, yeah.
It was Outkast bobblehead night, right?
What is that?
Let me tell you what that is, right? I did not know how hard Caucasian people will fight for a bobblehead. They would give up one of their children.
You are lying.
So it's, the bobbleheads that go on your dashboard in the head. So Outkast and the Braves
did like a collaboration.
And they have a big collaboration with jerseys and with the whole thing.
Oh,
so
wow,
they had
that's dope.
ATL jerseys. They bought it all. I couldn't find anything. I couldn't get anything. Nothing. I almost fought an 8-year-old. But he started it though. Listen, so I didn't get the bobblehead. But Big Boy was there. He had his family in the skybox, and I see he came out and threw the first pitch, I think. And they was playing all the great songs, and I was jamming, having a great time with my beers, and they was hitting home runs. We won the game. It was a great game.
Okay.
And I couldn't remember like what made me think about it, but I was just on Instagram, and I'm looking at Big Boy. And he's up there jamming, and they fresh and so clean, and his family's jamming, and the whole stadium is rocking. And I couldn't help but think, like, where is Andre? And then I look online.
He's in Japan.
playing a flute. I love him.
Yes.
Man, that's what I'm talking about right there. No shade to Big Boy, because I love him too.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm not saying that,
For sure.
you know, because I feel like that's the culture that they created, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That hot and cold, and that's what made it work, you know?
Right.
The love below in the speaker box, you know?
That was the balance.
It was a great balance, you know?
Yeah.
So for him to be such at peace where he's
Yeah,
at,
his
you
level
know,
of unbotheredness is
man.
top tier. Like,
I need that. I've been
It's
cussing
crazy.
people out all motherfucking week. Like I've been cussing. But I didn't get the bobblehead. It was people robbing people in there for him.
you know what? I'm gonna find you a bobblehead. Just text me what kind it is and all that. I'm gonna figure that out, and I'm gonna get that from you. I'm gonna get that from you. I'm gonna get that for you.
Don't lie to me, Jade.
I cross my heart and hope to faint.
Jade, don't do that.
Pinky swear.
Don't do that, Jade.
Pinky swear.
Let me reach on the cross. Oh, you're the best. Okay. So
Yes.
you are, again, one of the most prolific influencers in Atlanta. You're doing a damn softball league now. Like, are you gonna sleep? Like, okay. So you have your podcast, and I know
Yes.
you have your managing artist too, correct?
Yes.
And you guys are on Revolt.
Yes.
Shout out Revolt, man. Y'all can let me on if y'all want to. Like I was saying, so you guys have so much that you're doing,
Yes.
and you still have time to do community events to bring people together like softball. Tell me what made you do that.
Okay, so two of my friends, Gooch and Pig, it was actually their idea, and they started the softball thing. I believe it was last year. So they started it. It ran its course last year. And this year, one of my best friends, his name is Money, he was playing for one of the teams that is actually in the league. So I came out to the first game to just kind of like watch them play and show some support. But I ended up having to fill in as their head coach. So
Okay, coach.
And because they were like calling all kind of shit, like unbelievable shit, and I was like, no. So I had to go out on the field, like, and stand next to the referee umpire guy, like, okay, he stepped over the line, so that's an automatic out for us.
Oh, you in some real
You know,
major
blah,
league
blah,
shit
blah.
going
Yeah,
on out
like,
there.
No, like, y'all not finna play us. We are really a good team, and y'all are not finna make these bogus ass calls and try to make us lose. Like, I'm not going for it. So after that day, they kind of like hired me as the full-time head coach for the team.
Yeah, you
so
deserve
every
that.
Sunday, like, I'm on the field, and we lost one time because the week of the Gervonta fight, half of our team went to Vegas.
Oh yeah, I was
So we lost on a technicality because we had to pull a whole bunch of people to like just fill in, and
They did
the
a James
fillers-
Harden on you.
Yeah, the fillers were ass.
Oh my
But
God. Damn you, Vegas.
so like once I started kind of like being there week to week and kind of like seeing how, you know, the system works or whatever, I had a meeting with Gooch and my cousin Jamin, and we were trying to figure out like how we could take this to the next level and make it bigger and better. So we're in the process now. I can't really go into detail about it because it's still in the works, but
Gotcha.
we're in the process now of doing something really huge for the city. We're doing like our playoffs, I want to say like the first or second week in June, but when we start the softball back up for the fall ball, like in August, it's gonna be like some shit you've never seen before. And
Okay.
I'm bringing in sponsors. I'm bringing in like all kind of people to
Oh,
like
man, that's
help
gonna be
make
dope.
it bigger,
Okay.
so that we can actually take it out of just being some hood shit that people pull up to, and actually making it an experience for the city of Atlanta.
And this is definitely the place to do it too. They
Yes.
support. That's why I love Atlanta. They support things like that. And
Yes.
a lot of cities that are majority black do not still. But Atlanta, I think you guys will get it done. Have my
Yes.
jersey ready, coach.
Yes.
Put me in.
Yes.
I think I'm ready to rock and roll. But what is the name of the league?
It's not really a name of the league, but the name of the entire situation is called Softball Sundays.
Softball Sundays. So that's the thing. Gotcha.
Yes.
Okay. So now, here's what I like to do at Hard Knock University.
Yes.
Again, we are an educational podcast, so we
sure.
always like to drop a little game for people. So for people that's coming into this industry as far as media with you, or to do what you do, because honestly, there is no title for what you do. But it's people out there that's like you that they're so confused, and it's crazy. It almost hurts you sometimes. It makes you you feel different. You feel like, well, I just don't want to just do. When people ask me to this day, what do you do for a living? I'll be like, I don't know.
I tell people that I sell cigarettes in the bathroom at Magic City.
With the dude that wear the robe? Yeah, that's my guy. I love him. The man walks around in a Versace robe. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, so that's how I sum it all up, and that kind of like curbs any further questions. And you know,
okay. Yeah, you have a good one. All right, Jay.
Right.
Jay, right? All right, yeah. Shit, I don't even smoke.
Yeah.
Oh man. Oh shit.
Yes.
So are you dating anyone? You single?
So,
Ooh, that was oh, let's start over. All right, and so hey, Jade.
yes.
Are you dating anyone?
I currently have a situation with an understanding, and that is basically the extent of my current circumstances.
I'm sorry, Justin. Did you understand any of that? My engineer and me. I'm okay. So
Yes.
was that like a AI generated answer? Did you do that on the AI app?
You got me. You got
know what?
me. I'm so sorry.
How about this? I'm gonna
Yes.
say the reason I'm asking is because most men are insecure, and you
Very.
hang around some big people. You know what I'm saying? You got Thugger and them, and you got
Yeah.
Tip and them, and these are some
Free
handsome men.
Jeffrey.
You know what I'm saying?
He'll
Free
be on the way
Jeffrey.
soon.
Free Jeffrey, man. And
Yes.
again, it's no homo. These are some handsome guys, and
Yeah.
I don't know how I feel if my girl, was hugging all the time. So does that cause a problem with you, like, or with the girlfriends or the groupies, or
Okay, yeah, let's break that down into pieces.
tell me about
So with like my current situation, or like any guy that I've ever dealt with, they know me and they like know my heart and they know my intentions. So it's not an issue for them. You know what I'm saying? They understand like everybody. I don't want to sound like a whatever, but they know everybody loves me, and they know like that.
Exactly.
I like, if I love or care about somebody, they know that I'm willing to go to the end of the earth for them, and that's like no matter what. But it's not on no kind of like non-platonic shit. You see what I'm saying?
Okay, I see what you're saying.
So that's that when it comes to the guys, but like when it comes to the females. So when it comes to the females, for the most part, females are, whatever, but it's like my whole life I don't want to say I've had issues with females, but it's like some females can't grasp the fact that I have no control over the bond that I have with people.
Exactly.
So it's like, I can't control how close me and this person are because of the shit that we've been through. And if that is something that makes you uncomfortable as a woman, I understand that, and I'm going to try to do everything within my power to make you comfortable. But oftentimes that I've learned from experience, that female or woman person or whatever is uncomfortable with my relationship with whoever the guy is that is involved in that situation because she's triggered by something previous or a prior trauma that has nothing to do with me at all. So that's why I kind of try to be understanding to an extent. But, you know, after a while, okay, bitch, like, I don't kiss nobody's ass. And I know I haven't done anything wrong. So I'm going to try my best to accommodate you because of the love that I have for this person. But after a certain point, it's kind of like, come on, bitch, like, get it together. Like, for real. Like, there's nothing going on. You have no reason to like me. And then that's when, like, my whole, because I try not to give a fuck.
Yeah.
But I'm a Cancer and I'm like super emotional and I'm a highly sensitive person. So I absorb people's energy and I hate conflict. So it's just like, if I know that my relationship, okay, if this is a guy and this is the girl, if I know that my relationship with this guy is causing him a problem at home for whatever reason, then I'm gonna not necessarily push back off of it, but I'm gonna try to, you know, limit
exactly
the extra shit. Not that there is any extra shit, but I'm gonna try to do whatever I can to make her comfortable so that this person right here that I love doesn't have an issue at home with this insecure person. But it's like, sometimes it's like, I just get to the point where, like, I'm tired of, like, I don't have the energy to fucking try to not fucking make everybody comfortable and, you know what I'm saying, all that kind of shit. So I don't know, that shit just be weird, like, with females sometimes, because a lot of females, like you said, with the guys are insecure of the people that their significant other or whoever deals with or does business with, which absolutely has nothing to do with the business partner or the person that, you know, they're involved with. But, you know, any person that has any kind of feelings would try to make it a cohesive thing because, you know, you understand how, like, okay, if we're always together and we're always, like, doing stuff and me and him go out to eat and go to the movies and, you know, like, we hang out and shit and you want him to hang out with you, but he just doesn't want to hang out with you, and you like, well, why you hanging out with this bitch? And you know what I'm saying? Why you always going everywhere with this bitch and this and that, blah, blah, blah. Like, I'm a female. I get that. But it's like, at some point you gotta really grow up.
But that's almost why I asked you that question. I asked you for a specific reason, because you're a black woman, and unlike, you know, between like me and Clay and pretty much every other man that's on the back office of this executive industry,
right?
We don't have to worry about the woman thinking, well, some do, about us, you know, sleeping with the guy and hanging out with us. It's just certain problems we don't have to deal with as men, that you have to deal with on top of everything else that a normal manager or a normal executive has to deal with. So, but you seem to navigate it so good, right? You have your interests. You still, again, it's the hugs for me. You know, it's the hugs for me, man, when I see people give genuine hugs, because some of these artists, they fucking need it, man. Like, they really need that person that...
You'd be surprised, man. Like, the shit that some of these